those immigrants actually lucky enough to make it into the U.S., it is not an immediate American dream. They're often released out into the community without money or resources. They have nowhere to go. And that's where local cities and charities step up to fill the gap. And as we see in this next story, it is taking its toll. I'm on the way now to San Diego's Christ United Methodist Ministry. It's a member of the Safe Harbors Network. It's very different than the shelters in Tijuana. The facilities are more modern and up to date. Kids playing video games on their phones. They've got a huge table of construction paper and art supplies. The men, women, and children only spend a little time here. The church relies on volunteers to take in people who don't have family in the U.S. People like Jerry Noel Davis.
It's a really great opportunity to learn about other cultures and other stories, to be able to learn about people and some of the trials that they go through.
But that doesn't mean that it's easy.
It has meant juggling schedules. It has meant doctor's appointments that are needed for the asylum seeker and the child. It has meant our resources being used differently. I don't know that we really knew what we were getting into, but I don't know that we would change it either.
Kent Rayson is also a volunteer for Safe Harbors.
We provide a safe location. They've been through a traumatic experience getting here. We are extremely overwhelmed. We've had up to 80 people staying here at this church at any one time.
He explains that the U.S. government is so unprepared for what is going on that it sends refugees from its own shelters to them.
ICE will bring individuals here, and the van will pull up. Sometimes they let us know that they're here. Other times they just open the door, people get out.
At Jewish Family Service, which is part of the San Diego Rapid Response Network, they tell a similar story.
The next day the Safe Release program ended. ICE dropped off families, mostly moms and young children, at the bus station downtown here in San Diego. So at that point, some passerbys noticed, they called our hotline, and we got involved.
The effect of simply dumping migrants in the middle of San Diego has been devastating, costing the county more than $1 million already.
The County of San Diego is actually suing the Trump administration for its neglect, because the county has been helping us in terms of providing public health nurses. It's clear, ICE used to provide this, I'll call it a service, but basically they would work with families, find out where their sponsor were, where they were going. And in October, they basically just completely stopped that work. And it's almost as if the government has said, you wanted to come to America, here's America, here's the bus station, go make it work. Now, these are folks often wearing shorts and t-shirts, flip-flops, no money, no cell phone. There would be no ability for them to get anywhere.
And that's where Hopkins and his volunteers step in. They feed and house them, and then
we're trying to figure out where they're going, and then who's going to pay for it.
The many faces they help couldn't be more thankful, despite the sacrifices they had to make to even get there.
Many of them talked about that they left their moms and dads behind. Many of them talk about how they left their sister behind, and other family members. And I think that what is driving all of them is a better life for their children and a better life for themselves. And so I would hope that people get away from the blue and the red and the left and the right. And these are individuals. There's a court process, there's an immigration process. Let immigration figure out whether they belong here or not. But I think that we as a nation have an obligation to take care of people.
With so many of those displaced immigrants still here in Mexico and now being given work visas, why not stay here? Well, coming up, we'll take a look at a new distinction for Tijuana, one the city isn't proud of.